Hello, sports fans! Welcome back to Athena Games as we continue our in-depth look of Blood Bowl. I'm Chris, and joining me at the table today is Ross and Chris Ewles. Fantastic. So, we've already had a bit of an unboxing of this already. We've sort of had a very quick unboxing between me and Mr. Ewles. And, well, we're going to go with a more in-depth look of everything. We're going to have some comparisons between the old rules, look at the models, see how they're easy to build, and see what else you can get in, because we didn't really get a good chance to have a look at everything. Bear in mind that this Blood Bowl is released on the 25th of November, that Friday, and if you pre-order with Athena Games, we will do it for 15% off, so we'll do it for £55. That's only if you pre-order, though. Bearing in mind, on the same day, you can pick up the Skaven team, the lovely rat people that can one-turn touchdown if you know the game. One-turn touchdown, and as well as the Skaven dice and the upcoming League expansion Death Zone for Season 1. There are other teams soon to follow, including a Dwarfs team, but that's all we know so far. We don't know actually what to do. And so, without further ado, let's quickly get this thing open, shall we? Well, I say get this thing open.
It's kind of already open. Well, first of all, before we move on...
Let's put that lovely box back.
Go put the box back, because the box is really nice. It's got some very nice...
Yes, actually, to be fair, there's some lovely artwork.
Like,
fantastic artwork.
Oil,
They've really improved.
oils, weirdly. Yeah, it's really nice.
I had the first edition, and I thought that artwork was really good, but this is spectacular.
They've really upped
sells
the
it.
ante with the artwork. They have really upped the ante.
It does sort of, because obviously the last thing we unboxed, sort of Games Workshop-ish, was the Burning Prospero. And the Burning Prospero, sadly, is like a nasty computer generator. It wasn't nasty, but it's a computer generated thing.
Yeah.
Image.
And yeah, it's not the greatest in the world. But this is really, really nice.
Somebody looks like they drew this.
Yes, it's actually drawn.
And it sells the game, because you've got a massive Black Orc squishing humans. Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah.
Not Black Orc. Blitzer.
I don't care.
See? Got your answer.
It looks like an orc. It's an orc and it's squishing humans. Who cares?
Fantastic. Right. Let's get this going.
Yeah,
So first thing we see is our score tracker. Fantastic piece of text. It is there are two in here. There's one side for the orc side and one side for the human side, depending which pitch you use.
Well, we got it's not just a score track. So we got score up here. We got the dugouts. So we've got reserves, KO'd
and dead.
Dead or injured.
Dead or injured.
Yep.
You've got a time tracker between full time and half time, so obviously they'll be tracking the game throughout these times with little score sheets or little score counters, which we will show later on.
And then
how many rerolls you've got left, which if you know the game very well, you have to spend money to get rerolls.
Yeah, that comes more in with the league play.
More league stuff.
So on the reverse,
you have
as
got
most
the
things,
orc side.
we've got the orc side as well, which is really, really cool. So it's a little bit more...
A little bit more orky.
Themed to the orcs, yes.
A little bit more orky. I mean, look, you've got an axe there, you've got some... Tabards.
Yep.
You've got some sort of
Flags.
stone slabs rather than on the human side. You've got like nice, pristine,
very neat,
very neatly
Sort of
positioned. But the orcs don't care. Slam a rock in the ground, you know.
It's important to note there are two of them.
Yeah,
there are two in
each
here.
player. So
each player.
if you can't make up your mind, orcs can play with the orc side, humans can play with the human side.
it's good.
Obviously, first thing I would like to point out, they give you extra bags.
Yep.
They give you extra bags. That's fantastic.
So we'll come back to the rules.
Come back to the rules in a bit. So, would you guys like to start talking about the dice and stuff while I...
Well, first thing to notice is this. These are the templates. Now, being someone who has played the original, you had flimsy pieces of plastic which had the range marked on it, and it looked... Well, it was alright, but it was awful. These are full plastic templates.
They're quite durable as well.
Yeah.
Like they're quite a thick plastic, so they're not going to break easily.
Nope.
This one is a double segmented, so they actually slot together. They slot together quite well.
That's your
throw template. So obviously that bit is a quick pass, short pass, long pass, and long bomb.
They call it long bomb now.
They call it long bomb now. Here we've got the scatter dice, or the scatter template, so rolling the d8, see where the ball goes, if it's thrown somewhere or if it gets dropped or whatever. And this one is if it goes off the pitch.
Yep.
Where it gets thrown back on.
And it's all sort of nicely themed.
All very nicely themed as well.
So you've got Blood Bowl helmet, and you've got the symbol of corn.
Oh,
I don't think very many people recognise.
I was about to say, it's like the 8-pointed star of chaos, which is
yeah. But they're also all numbered as well, which is fantastic. I love the way they've numbered it as well. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like, what?
That's the same as it was in the original game, but it's a heck of a lot better looking.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot more durable.
Now, I think Ross is going to be indubitably impressed by the fact there are orcs.
With the original game, you got preset miniatures, which you kind of have here, but the really nice thing is there's a snap fit.
It is a snap fit. There are also, obviously, it's very easy to do. Usual GW stuff, get a pair of clippers, snip them out.
Yeah.
So even people who are rubbish at miniature making can just snap them together and you get a full team out on the day. Don't need to worry about painting them because they're 2 different colours as well.
Yeah. You don't have to... I mean, obviously, if you want to paint them because obviously they'll look better painted.
I will be.
But, let's face it, the great thing about it is, as you said, they're both colour-themed. This is the first time we've seen a colour-themed sprue.
Starter sprue.
Where you don't have to paint them because they're already coloured and you know which side's which.
Yep.
The other thing I want to address is, this is one of the markers.
Yeah.
That you used to track something with. Look how cool that is. It's this proper orc fist that just, it looks spiky, it looks menacing. There's a human one as well.
Yep, and the human one is actually different. So
yeah, the human one is actually different, so the orc one looks more orky and the human one looks more human, you know.
The orc skull. Yeah, that's a really nice thing about this is this isn't directly marketed at modelers. It's for like folks who just like saw the box and went, that looks fun.
It's
and so
sort of, it's
you get
like
a full team.
It's like a board. It's like an actual. I can buy this board game and I can just play it straight out of the box. Like a board game should be.
It is more or less a traditional board game with a little bit of assembly, and even as Chris will probably show you, these guys go together with no glue at all, really.
Nope, you don't have any glue. They are push fit ones.
One that probably needs a little bit of glue, but the rest of them, again, it's because they've just been sliced up on a CAD program, so you can use.
They're showing off the orc coin.
Go together quite nicely.
And there is a different coin for the.
There's a different coin for the humans as well.
Humans.
I will probably have to. I will show off the 2 now, but if you guys want to shout about something for a little while.
Well, should we go to the dice?
Yeah, let's have a look at the dice.
So,
the dice are really nice.
You get 4 different types of dice in the game. You've got the normal D6s with the nice Blood Bowl logo for the number 6.
Oh, yeah.
So when you see that come up, you'll know you're doing really well. Then you got your regular D8s, and you have your blocking dice.
It's cool. It's cool to see those. That's a really nice thing to see.
The one thing that really wasn't very good in the first one was the fact you only had a set of 3, and you had to share them, and you were forever going, I need the dice, I need the dice, I need the dice. Now you've got a set each, so in the end of the day you don't have to share, and they're also themed colour-wise.
Yeah.
And that will be more important with the future releases as well.
Yeah. And then, weirdly...
Oh, this is awesome.
I'll have a look at one there.
Those
are D16s.
Yeah.
So these are for randomly determining things in teams. So, obviously...
You never had these. We never had these before today.
I don't think you've actually ever seen a D16.
They have produced them for the unsupported game that took place between 93 and now. And this is probably why Games Workshop has realised they're onto a winner, because the game has been going and has never truly died. So there are companies that have made them, but this is the first D16 that I've seen in a proper release format, and it is wonderful, because previously choosing a random player for crowd effects at the start of games, you couldn't do it, not fairly.
No.
So now you just roll dice, and look, number 15 gets it.
So I'm going to quickly show off the coin for humans as well. It's pretty much both coins have the Blood Bowl symbol on the back, which looks nice.
Yep.
And then they both have they're separate symbols on the front. You've got a nice orc skull and a nice human eagle. So yeah, cool there as well. Same with the fists. Very human looking fist. Very orky looking fist. Like so.
Really
fantastic.
good.
Really cool. I am going to be starting to assemble. I'm going to literally only be using a pair of clippers. This is all I've got with me. I haven't got any glue. I haven't got anything else. I'm literally only I'm going to construct 1 human player, and I'm going to try and construct 1 orc player. Wow. Now, I may need the instructions.
I was going to say, we're just going to quickly pop through the rulebook.
Yep.
Very, very similar to artwork to the second version of the computer game.
Gorgeous artwork.
Yeah, so we're going to quickly pop through it. So,
well, first thing you see is a lovely picture of Bill Bifford and... Or Bob Bifford? Is it Bill Bifford or Bob Bifford?
They've changed his name since I played. It's Bob, yes.
It's Bob
Bifford
it hasn't changed. And Jim.
Yep,
Jim and Bob.
Jim the Vampire Count.
Yeah. So, first of all, it's got a little bit of an introduction.
Goes through all the components.
Goes through all the components. Shows you the different places on the pitch, which is quite nice. So you've got the line of scrimmage and you've got the wide zone on each side.
And that is important because when you set the game, when you start off, you need to have set number of players in each zone.
Yeah, you have to have players in each
so
zone.
So it is worthwhile. You need to read that.
Yeah. And then you've got some quick reference sheets we'll quickly go over in a moment.
Next bit tells you about
all of the components.
Yep, tells you about obviously the ruler that we were explaining earlier, tells about the tracking board, the dice, and actually the balls themselves, which are actually on the sprue.
That's something we should mention. And yeah, balls. Really need to mention this. Really amazing. Instead of where they just had one ball in the original game, which is just a boring old American football, you now have individual balls for each one. And they have a squig ball! Yeah, it's a squig! You're kicking a squig around, it's awesome!
And obviously, humans have their own balls as well. Just here, look at that.
Yeah.
And apparently that's going to be continued
nice couple of balls.
Yeah.
And there are different balls as well. There are balls that just go on the pitch, and balls that go into a special slot in the base, isn't there, Chris?
So, oh god.
Do you want me to go on
I'm torn.
Haven't got long enough arms.
There's your slot base, and you can see there's a little hole there. We never had that in the original game.
Yeah.
You just had
to precariously balance them on the base of the player who had the ball.
And the amount of times where that ball would skitter off the base was just ridiculous. Also, you couldn't base your models. And now you can. If you want to go the whole hog and put grass on your base your models, just leave room for that ball.
Every little thing. Here's the ball. There's a little peg on the bottom. It just slots in like that. So easy. Very easy to take out as well. And it's just fantastic.
Really,
fantastic.
Really good idea.
Very good innovative design.
Yes. Got to give props to Games Workshop on that one. They've really thought this out.
Yeah. So, moving back to the rulebook quickly.
Boot camp!
We've got a little boot camp, so that's sort of a quick start guide on the basics of Blood Bowl. So moving, blocking, tackle zones, dodging, all that stuff.
It takes you step by step through every single thing that the game does. It starts off with simple movement. It starts off with passing. You then get to blocking. You then get to blitzing, which is very much an important thing in this game because you only get one blitz a turn.
Yep.
It tells you how to win the game. But it takes you, more importantly, step by step, slowing it down until you can get every point. Once you've got every point, you can then have a game, and then if you want to learn a bit more, they then have the extra rules right at the back of the book.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
So you've got once you've quickly done that and explained the basics to you, you've got the basic. You then got the basic rules, so setting up the game,
the kickoff,
all that good stuff.
Explaining
a bit more about how agility works, because obviously in Blood Bowl each player's got 4 main stats and some skills. They explain the skills in here.
Which I'm going to show you now. The other cool thing in this game is they actually give you, in this game, a bunch of cards. Obviously, some of the cards are for the special effects that happen at the start of each round. They then have some cards for the star players.
So those cards are actually for a sort of an additional rules where you like get 1 to 3 cards per turn and you get to play them, and all kinds of weird, crazy Blood Bowl events happen.
They also have star players. Now, star players are things that in a league you have to buy into, and they only last for a single match.
You can also have them in single play, though.
You can also have them in single play as well, so they're cool.
But they are
More
expensive.
importantly, they give you, and this is really cool, I think, and I'm hoping they do more of this.
Yeah.
They give you cards for each individual type of player for both teams. Obviously, there are 4 types of players per team in the box, so you've got 4 different types of orcs and 4 different types of humans, but they give you cards so that you can literally have them at your side. You don't have to keep looking through that book to look for the stats. They are there, they are ready, and all you have to do is go, cool, I have a maneuver 7, so I can move 7, or I've got an agility of 3. Looking at the chart, which is on the quick reference guide as well.
Yeah.
I can see what I need to do. It allows it so much easier.
Yeah,
it makes things so much easier.
I think they could have done a better route on that.
I don't know. I think
it's fine for individual games, but when you start getting into leagues and tournaments, it's too much to be carrying around. If they just produced a single card for each one for each player, that probably would be better and be more used. But certainly, it's a nice thing.
Yeah,
they look nice. It gives you an example of how to paint them as well on it.
For the game as a standalone not thinking about leagues, not thinking about tournaments. As a standalone box that you play with, it's a really great idea. Again, you're not having to flip through rule books to find your... Because admittedly, if we're going to have a league, you're probably going to have a sheet with all your guys on it, and all of your upgrades and stuff, and all your skills.
I don't know. I quite like this idea. I still like that idea.
It is good for this box.
Yeah.
when you
for the
start
box,
moving
when you
into
start
leagues
stuff.
and
Yeah, fair enough.
Because
Okay.
you've got to bring your
skills and
sheet in
stuff.
for the league anyway, so it's
Plus,
it's
you may
extra.
get like additional skills because obviously
Yes.
each thing comes with their own set of skills, anyways. But obviously, as you go into a league, you then get more skills. Your players get better. They may get killed off.
That's a good point. League death means death. If your character dies, that's it. He's gone. So if you have a star player that you've built up throughout 15 games and he dies on the 16th, you cannot get him back unless you've taken an apothecary and you roll a very, very difficult die roll.
That's getting into more advanced
it
stuff.
is
So
indeed.
we'll probably do that and cover that another time. So let's keep going through our
so
book.
we've got what all the dice faces mean, because obviously they're using specialist block dice rather than what me and my friends did, is where we used d6s and had the numbers denote different effects. Which is nice. It's a nice shortcut rather than using just d6s and stuff like that.
They were actually they're wooden in the original game, but certainly we've had them from day one.
Yeah.
So it's not a change.
You've got injuries and knockdowns. Again,
More tables.
It
More
comes
explaining.
if you've played the living rulebook or you played the original Blood Bowl. Not many of the rules have changed. There was one or two things that I had a chat with Ross about, and I was like, I'm not sure how this used to work because we might have been getting it wrong. But as far as I can see, the rules haven't changed.
Yeah.
Which is really, really nice.
They've been very respectful to the player base that's already out there.
Yeah.
So essentially, they've taken the NAF rulebook, and which is the player base that's been going since probably about '88, I believe, and they've stuck with it.
Yeah.
Changed stuff that didn't quite work, so it's really the 7th or 8th edition of the living rulebook, but they've been really respectful of them.
Yeah.
And which is nice.
Again, it was a wise idea not to change it, because again, it's what everybody else is familiar. It's what I was familiar with when we did our little league a couple of years ago. We've also got how to build the teams out of the two you've got. You've got all the gold costings and their skills, even for some characters that aren't in here, like trolls and ogres.
Yep.
Which is cool.
You want trolls if you have.
It then gives
small
you
creatures.
a template.
Yeah.
A template to...
Permission to photocopy granted for personal use.
You don't have to photocopy though, because you can go on bloodbowl.com and you can download it.
Ah, there we go.
I have it on my iPad.
There you go, fantastic. They're thinking of all the things here.
They've even
Tells you
got
about
apps
star
coming out,
players
haven't they?
and special play cards as well.
Yeah.
So that's also good. And finally, as we get towards the
Tables.
back, gives you tables on
You've
how
got
to do
the
things.
weather.
The
So you've got
kick-off
the weather
table.
tables.
Yes. Oh, the app is the Dugout app. Now, it isn't out yet, so I don't know exactly what's
Yeah,
going to go on it.
I went looking because I've actually I went looking for it and I was like, I can't find it.
Yes.
Why isn't it out yet?
No,
It's
not out
only,
yet.
I believe it's going to be launched on the same day, but the app hopefully will be free. But I can't see them spending too much money charge for it. But certainly that should take out a lot of the hassle. So you probably see you can actually build your own teams on that. But as I say, it's difficult to say because they haven't actually released any information on it.
Nope.
But it will be called Blood Bowl My Dugout.
Cool.
Is what it's called. Blood Bowl, 2 words.
Yeah, because I believe they've got an ad for it in the new.
It's in
White
games.
Dwarf
Yeah,
as
it's in
well.
White Dwarf, and that's why I went where I was like, oh, White Dwarf. Oh, it's not there. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So you've also got a lot of skills. I believe there's a lot more than
Yep.
this I can remember, because I obviously haven't got like the chaos mutations and stuff in here.
More
And then
importantly, though, towards the world of Blood Bowl, it
It's
gives you a
nice-
little bit of story.
it's a nice bit of
Now
nice bit
they-
of
Yeah,
fluff bit.
that
Yeah,
is-
they've changed the story.
That's
They've changed
important.
the story.
Blood Bowl was always separate. Blood Bowl is a world. It's based on the old fantasy role-playing fantasy battle world, but there's no such thing as war anymore. What they do, it's a bit like Robo-Jocks. They get the teams from each side and they fight out to solve any problems they have. So this
Everything is solved with Blood Bowl.
Yeah, Blood Bowl. And if you're orcs, you just kick their heads in. Do as much damage as possible.
And if you're Skaven, run around like a loony.
Yeah. The
And
important
score
thing,
one-turn touchdowns.
don't pass the ball until you've actually played a league and you've got more skills.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I don't know. I think
punch
Skaven are pretty
everybody.
good. You know.
They also get. Hang on. If we go back, they've got a list of all the different champions Hall of Fame. So if you want to play a theme team that's actually available, that's existed, you do have the names here. One of which you do get both of them. You've got, I think it's the Gouged Eye and the Reichland
Yeah.
Reavers.
So you got
Yep.
the Gouged Eye
Gouged
there,
Eye
and
Orcs
Reichland
and the
Reavers
Reichland
are there.
Reavers. They did
Oh,
manage.
they're there. Yeah,
Yep.
no, they're
So they're
probably
on there.
everywhere.
But you've got things like the Auckland Raiders, the Nagroth Nightmares. That's the team I used to play. The good old Witch Elf based Dark Elves.
Again, it is a beautifully laid out book, but I don't think we'd really expect anything else
Yeah.
from GW. Like,
Well,
all their books just
it is a massive
really
change though.
things to look at.
The old rule books, they were line art on the inside, so it wasn't anything like that. Just plain pages with line art. Here we've got full colour, absolutely gorgeous pictures.
Yeah, and then we've
Speaking
got
of pictures,
the assembly at the back.
how to assemble the guys, which is kind of what I need, to be fair, to help me build these guys. But to be honest, they are pretty simple designs. Again, only a pair of clippers needed. So I'm going to, for example, build a Black Orc, just to start off with. So it tells
So-
me exactly what numbers I need to build a Black
17,
Orc.
18,
So I need to find a 17, 18, 19 on this. They're all little, very
You
hard
need
to tell.
16, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, 16?
Yeah,
16, 17, and 18.
16,
Cool.
17,
So,
18.
on the sprue sheet, it's very hard to see on the camera, but there are actually indented numbers around the
Again,
middle
it's,
sections.
It's a usual GW kit.
Usual
Yeah.
GW kit.
Otherwise, I don't know how you build anything. You've also got
Guess.
yeah, you guess.
But that's the nice thing. You
All
can,
right.
with it being snap fit, you can mix and match. So unlike the original games, even going back to HeroQuest and Necromunda, which are two other games that they used to produce back in the 80s, 90s, you had fixed models. So all your blitzers look the same, all your Black Orcs look the same. This, you can actually have, you've got a little bit of posability to it. You've got a little bit of ability to change things up. Use parts
Not
from one
much,
model.
not
Not much,
much.
but it's a lot better than it was.
You also got their standard sort of painting guides. So if you're familiar with the ones that they've had with in White Dwarf and stuff like that, it's a similar thing. They'll give you like a basing colour, a layer colour, a wash, and a highlight colour, etc.
Yeah.
To paint them, like for instance, the orcs are in red. And
Well, they're actually showing you how to paint the exact teams. that
Yeah,
they
they're
are.
the
So,
teams
so
that
yeah,
are-
the
I
Garage
agree.
Die and the Reichland Reavers.
So, I have cut out my 3 pieces here. I'm actually going to use one of these bases as well. There we go. Very simply put, I've got no glue. This was all done by clippers. So, first thing, for the Black Orc, it's very simple. He just slots on the top here. There's a little slot there, a little slot inside there. Slots right in, like so. Done. And then you've got, for the Orc, very simple. Little peg there, little hole there. Slot him on. I've got a Black Orc. And then, slot in the base. Bit of plastic there. Little bit of shuffle. Done.
Yeah.
I've built an Orc. How easy was that?
And they
Yep.
they hold
No glue
together.
needed.
They hold together quite well. As
Yeah, they hold together quite well, other than his
apart
head.
from
His head may fly off. But let's face
But
it,
it's nothing that little.
little bit of glue if you want to keep the whole things together. But actually, I didn't push it on properly, that's why. That hold together quite nicely. You know, I'm not using too much effort. I'm very lightly tucking things, but I'll give that to you.
Yep.
You have a little play, you know.
And the quality of the miniature is absolutely superb. It's so much more detailed than the original ones. And Games Workshop have done a really good, and I can honestly
They pulled out
say
all the stops.
these
let's
are
face it.
not the same miniatures that I remember.
Yeah.
They all look original. They're based on the ones that I used to play with, but they're certainly not, as far as I can remember, the same sculpts,
Yeah.
which is really good.
I
And-
say I would imagine they're very much based off the original ones, but of course they had to make them in the plastic molds. So what we've also got is quick reference guides. Those are always handy. Same
We
as
were-
the
We
same
were
as the
speaking
cards.
about these earlier, weren't we?
So you've got 2 for each player, and they are double-sided. I've just got each side. Don't worry up. So you've got like everything. Near enough everything is on here. It's only when you want really specific things you have to go into the rulebook. So that's also great. So once you've gone through the rulebook, you shouldn't need to really go back to it unless you've got some very strange things going on. Right. So we've got
Now we've
that.
got to address the final component of the box, haven't we? The thing that's been sitting underneath everything the entire time, and you may or may not noticed it. This is the board. This is the
Yes.
entire board. This is the fantastic, probably the most fantastic piece of this thing, because I absolutely adore it for one reason only.
So
This is the human side of the board. This board is double-sided. So,
here's the better side of the board. The Orky board.
there's an orc side as well.
Just give you
So, you know,
example
you can
of
either
the
play on the
difference.
human turf, or you can play on the orc turf. whatever.
That's-
Go with what you want.
That's really cool. It's also a very, very nice.
Yeah,
quality
it's
board
it's
as
quite
well.
heavy
It's
card
like,
stock.
Yeah, it's like sealed with some tape on the
Sealed
side.
with the tape on the side, so it's gonna be very durable.
Yeah.
Fantastic thing also. If you're playing with obviously bring back the design. It's
Yeah.
very much compared to the actual pitch you're playing on.
it's all
so
themed. It's
all very themed. It's all very nice.
It's
if you
very
want to
much-
play on the orc pitch, you can use this side. If you want to play on the human pitch, you can use this side. If you feel like you're humans, you just want to tell the two apart.
Yeah.
Use one of
Yeah.
each. You know, it doesn't matter.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
And I believe that a lot of the other teams are going to get double-sided boards as well.
From what I understand, they're planning. This isn't confirmed, but they are. The rumor is they're planning battle mats.
Yes.
So these will be like the mats they brought out for the Age of Sigmar. They'll be
The rollout ones.
polyurethane
Yeah.
rollout boards, and it sounds like they're planning one for every team. So this is going by release stuff they've actually had, the interviews with the people who developed this. So the expansions they are rumouring are boards, themed dice, and these dice look gorgeous. They're not like these, which are nice enough. They are gem dice.
So kind of like the dice that they do for the current stuff we've got at the moment. Because I know that we had themed Gork,
wooden Gork dice.
We had the Ultramarine dice.
Yep.
I own Sylvaneth dice for Age of Sigmar,
the
which are
Death
really
Watch
nice.
dice as well.
I actually have them with me, but I can't grab them.
With the Skaven ones that I've seen,
And then they had the cult dice, the cult,
Yeah.
GC
The
and the cult
GC
dice as well. That just
think
and they're meant to be
those
gem
sold
dice. They're quite
Yeah.
nice gem
The-
dice.
the
So the
Skaven
Skaven dice
ones
is quite
are
nice.
a deep green, warpstone green
I know I'm picking
gem
up then.
dice
Yeah.
with gold or yellow highlights on them. They are gorgeous. I'm not a Skaven player, but even I'm tempted to buy it. In fact, the Skaven models that I've seen, wow, a lot better than the originals, which just look like rats that run around
Again,
with a bit
I
of
know what I'm
armour on.
picking up
These
then.
look like proper rat men. But yeah, it sounds like the people behind it are actually going to support this game for a long time.
Yeah.
And the way they're doing these league systems with the seasons, so season book, which is Death Zone, I believe.
Yeah, Death Zone.
That's
They've
going
got
to
the
have
first few races.
Yeah.
We haven't got all of them confirmed yet.
Dwarves,
We know about
3 Wood Elves.
We know about Skaven and Dwarves.
Yeah.
Elves is meant to be further down
All-
the line.
all three are
three
confirmed
of the
in the book.
elves all three are confirmed in the book. Chaos is there, but we don't particularly
Nurgle.
know.
Nurgle. Which
is
are the
confirmed.
big fat guys.
Yes.
Yes. So
Nurgle.
looking on this head, Nurgle is a chaos god that is filthy. He is the chaos god of
Pestilence is
pestilence.
the best way to. So he's very much a grotesque, very
Slimy.
very rotting
Yeah.
kind of people. They're not very nice. But let's face it, a lot of people
yeah,
do like
they-
He's
Nurgles.
happy.
He's happy.
Papa
He just
Nurgle
wants
is
to give
happy.
you a hug, you know.
He likes flies.
And horrible
does like
diseases.
What I can remember from when I played Fantasy Roleplay, Nurgle was the main character in quite a lot of the campaigns that were sort of sent out, which is not surprising to me that they've released it. But
So we
the
don't
elves,
know how. So you don't know how many elven teams they're releasing. I know they're doing Wood
I
Elves.
believe it's going to be Wood Elves.
We would like to, but there's obviously the High Elves and the Dark Elves as well. So we don't know which
and
ones they're
the
doing.
Pro Elves.
And the Pro Elves, but
That's
I
new
think
because I've
we-
never seen Pro Elves.
Really?
but
Yeah, not
alright.
even enough.
most
so-
importantly, dwarves.
Dwarves.
Big
are
beards
fine.
with beer kegs and everything. You know,
Oh,
dwarves and
I
death rollers.
Yeah, I really hope Death Roller comes out.
Oh,
That is
come on,
awesome.
come on.
And
So,
if anyone plays a tree man in the Elven team, be warned, they take root quite regularly. And they're sitting the board going, I can't hit anything. But yes, loads of stuff.
absolutely lots and lots of stuff, and obviously, hopefully, we'll get our own dice and boards for them.
Yeah,
and
it's-
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a
hopefully,
lot
it
of-
looks like it's going to be going on for a while, at least. Great chance to get back into the game as well. Great
There's
chance to get back in.
there's a lot of scope.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
of
scope.
stuff.
heck of a lot of scope.
I think
And-
it's a good time to wrap up,
Yeah.
guys. I think we've covered pretty much everything. We've done pretty much, obviously, just to remind everyone, release date for the Blood Bowl base set is the 25th of November. That's on a Friday. Along with the Skaven dice, Skaven team, Skaven dice, and the Death Zone expansion. Dwarves are rumored to come
2
out about
weeks.
2 weeks later. We haven't got confirmation on that, but obviously we will do, and we'll let you know as soon as we do. And then obviously other teams coming forward, preferably within the new year, I'd assume.
Looking at the way they are planning things, yes, I think they're looking at starting leagues in the Games Workshop stores in January, so I'd hope that quite a lot of the teams... But they have stated that you can use models from previous years.
Especially some of the previous teams. I mean, let's face it. I'm sure for casual players, they will probably want to bring in their old teams, dust off the old Tomb Kings for you. I know, but
kit patched ones.
Obviously,
anyway.
I've got Tomb Kings.
If you pre-order with Athena Games, we would be doing 15% off for the Blood Bowl, so you'll get it for £55 rather than the retail price, which is £65. And of course, come down on the 25th of November. I assume we'll be doing a launch event at some point as well, probably on the day. So we'll have a lot of people playing around as well. And obviously local tournaments around in the new year, hopefully as well. Come hopefully in February time when we get our own league started and going. So a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah,
and we hope to see you all in the coming months. My name has been Chris Turner. I have joined lovingly by Mr. Ross and Mr. Other Chris.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time. Remember, no pain, no game.
Squish the halflings! Squish them!
Alright guys, see you later.
Take it easy.